As we get towards the end of the year, I want to talk about Game of the Year. In more particular fashion, I want to talk about my Game of the Year, though I am interested to know what your Game of the Year of 2023 is. In today's video, we're going to be going over my top 5 games of 2023. Will you disagree? Will you agree? Can we agree to disagree? Let me know in the comments section down below. But with that all being said, what is up guys, Jen here, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Got you covered with timestamps down below, so if you want to skip to a game, feel free to do so. I am not dropping spoilers, it'll literally be titled like number 5, number 4, etc, etc. All I ask is for you to support the channel and hit the thumbs up button. So let's get straight in to my top 5 games of 2023. Number 5. We are starting off this top 5 with The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I didn't create any videos on this on the channel, but it was one of those games that I just casually played and still casually playing as I'm making this video. This is a tremendous game. I kind of was real casual when it came to Breath of the Wild. I don't think I even completed it, and this is the same here for Tears of the Kingdom. But I think we can all agree the game and what it offers is absolutely incredible. It is a new adventure that takes you to new heights above the clouds, as it says on the box art, and we can do so many things and tackle this game as wildly as we want to do. And that's what I've just done. It's just been a nice chill time coming up with creations. It takes me back to technology class when I was, I don't know, 12 years old, and I'm trying to create a box with like a nice sliding lid, like a pencil case or something like that. It takes me back to there. I'm experimenting, I'm coming up with wild creations, and I'm sure if you've been out on the web, you will have seen some pretty wild creations out there. But it doesn't just stop at making these kind of like objects and these contraptions in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We have weapons, we have the combat, and of course we have the story. Even though it's not the strongest for me, it's a pretty decent story when it comes to Zelda standards, and it's probably why Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is my number 5. Number 4. Star Ocean: The Second Story R. Now, I was just expecting when this game came out, and you can see my review on the game by clicking on the cards just above. But this game, I was just expecting nice kind of like reminiscing of like the old PlayStation 1 titles. I'd never played Star Ocean: The Second Story, but as soon as I played through the demo and I got out to that open world, like this traditional kind of world map, overworld, where I can control over the camera, and obviously the towns are smaller than the character, but it just took me back, and I was like, I think I'm in for a good time here. And in for a good time I was. I completed the demo, and then it came to playing the actual release of the game, and it was absolutely incredible. Down from the battle system and all of its additions from the original and PSP version, to its cast of characters and the story and the world. I had a tremendous time. It was a beautiful game, and it was just a beautiful playthrough. It was one of those where I really got hooked into all of its gameplay elements, and in particular I'm talking about its crafting elements and getting those real broken weapons and just having a good time. And you know, I 100%ed this game when it comes to the terms of trophies. I got the platinum trophy. It was so fun, and I'm slowly but surely kind of knocking out all of those question marks in the kind of collectopedia that we have for items, weapons, etc. And yep, Star Ocean 2, the Second Story R, was a great experience, and I can't believe I missed out on the original, but I'm so glad that I got to play the remake this year. Number 3. Now, Octopath Traveler 2 and Star Ocean, the second story R, were definitely at arms when I was trying to come up with my top 5 and where it should rank. They were absolutely hammering heads when I was trying to decide this, but Octopath has taken third place for the simple fact of just the experience that I had when it come to just having a great RPG experience. Now, for context, and if you wanted to see my review when the game came out, you can click the cards, but I had not played, or at least I'd not completed or got really into the first Octopath Traveler. It came out at the wrong time for me, and it was on the backlog forever. I kind of dived into it, played a couple of characters, and just left it at that. But for some reason, I was excited for Octopath 2. Maybe it was a fresh start for me. Maybe it's the fact that it didn't really have too many ties to the first game and I could go in this without having to worry about playing the first one. But as soon as I locked in and I loaded Octopath Traveler 2, there was no going back. The storytelling in this game is phenomenal, and that comes to the writing and the voice acting and the cast of characters that we get here in Octopath Traveler 2. Not only that, we have the break battle system, which really gets you thinking and gets you to take your time. You can't just simply go into a battle and hope for the best, spam your attacks and be done with it. No, you really need to think about it, and this game definitely had me have the sweaty palms of like just reminiscing when I was playing like RPGs back in the late 90s, early 2000s, of really coming up with a strategy and being on the edge of my seat to try and do it. And Octopath Traveler ticked all those boxes once again. I had the pleasure of playing this before the game came out, so there was no guides or anything like that out, and I just went through it and enjoyed every moment. The best moment, and I guess a slight spoiler, is the secret boss and trying to figure out how to get through that boss. That boss took me nearly an hour to defeat, and if you know, there's probably cheese strats out by now, but when I was playing it for the first time, using everything that I'd learned so far for this boss, it was incredible, and it's an experience that I can't replicate, or has been yet to replicate this year. Now, before we move on to number 2, I want to kind of have an honorable mention of a game that I've been playing, and it's not really a game that has come out this year. It's more like an expansion, a bit of a refresh, and I am indeed talking about Cyberpunk 2077 and its Phantom Liberty expansion and its 2.0 update. At the time of recording this, 2.1 just came out and it's added even more layers and introduced some things that have needed to be there since the beginning of the game. But I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story of Cyberpunk and myself just while I've got you. But I got the original when it first came out on the PlayStation 4, and I was really excited to just dive into an RPG world and just have a ball of a time. And yes, there were bugs and there were glitches, but it really didn't taint my experience, and I kept quiet while it was getting all of the flack, because there was a lot of, truth to the way things were handled. But at the same time, my experience was really not that bad. So I played it, and I don't even think I made it to the ending. I think I got very close. But it was one of those games where I played it and other games came out and it fell down the backlog pile until like Phantom Liberty came around and the 2.0 kind of like update, and I went back to it and I'm playing it at the moment at the time of recording this video, and I am having a blast with this game. This is phenomenal storytelling, phenomenal customization, and just a real good time when it comes to an open world RPG. If you haven't played it already, I'm sure you can pick it up cheap somewhere. Definitely add it to your backlog if you are into those open world RPGs. Play at your own pace, enjoy the story, play your role, and have a good time, because it really is a good time with Cyberpunk 2077. Number 2. Now, this game really shook up my top 5 because a couple of weeks ago I had quite a definitive list, and there was a few other games that were in here that I've not mentioned today. But that all changed with Alan Wake 2. I gave into the hype. I had never played an Alan Wake game. I'd never played a Remedy game, and I was thinking, can I dive in? And I watched some interviews, and Sam Lake was saying like, yes, you can dive in to Alan Wake 2 without playing anything else, but obviously you'll get the context of other things if you have played them. And I was like, okay, I think that's good enough for me. And as time went on and I've seen the reviews and I've seen people that I respect and look up to talk about Alan Wake 2, I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to invest in this. And I have not looked back. What a game this is. This has given me one of my top gaming moments in 2023, and it's part of a kind of like a chapter called We Sing, and I'll leave it at that because I'm sure people who have played the game and have heard that will agree that it's just a phenomenal moment, especially the way it's interwoven with its story and its characters and just the way it's presenting itself. And presentation in this game is absolutely incredible, and I have never had this kind of experience with a game before. It's made me want to go back and play the first Alan Wake. It's made me want to go play Control because this really caught me off guard. I liked its survival horror elements. I loved all the little puzzles and all the things I had to solve myself. I never went to Google or YouTube once with this game. The only time I did is because at the moment there is a bug with one of the trophies, the last trophy I need for the platinum, where you have to watch this commercial and it's classed as a collectible and you get a trophy for that. But I went into this completely blind and it was a really good time, and I have nothing bad to say about Alan Wake 2. Its storytelling is just peak, and I'm sure there's so many things that I've missed because I've not played any of the previous entries in Remedy games, but what I got was incredible, and it's wanted me to dive into this world. So I can only imagine how this game was perceived by gamers that have played the previous Remedy titles. Number 1. I think it's no surprise what my number 1 is, just because of the build up to it, the release of it, me covering it on the channel, and of course with all the games that I have covered on the channel in this top 5 list, you will see a card pop up if you want to see the original review. But Final Fantasy 16 is my game of the year. To a lot of people that might not be a surprise, but to those that may be like, what? Why is that your game of the year? Well, allow me to try and explain my case, and if you don't agree, that's fine, but if you do agree or where I'm coming from, then please let me know in the comment section below. But I am a Final Fantasy guy through and through. It's what the channel is being built up on this year, and Final Fantasy 16 gave me that Final Fantasy experience. And what does that mean? That's like a rabbit hole in itself, but it's just what Final Fantasy is to me, and it gave me those same feelings. But this game gave me one of the most incredible moments of the year, and I'm talking about when we went in to the Titan boss fight, and just the stakes of it getting higher and higher and higher, and thinking you've beaten the boss, and then there's another phase, and then the music kicks in even more harder, and that moment, I literally, as I was playing, I was like, what am I playing? This is something out of this world. And I just was hooked. I liked everything that Final Fantasy 16 had to offer. Its story was its strongest, and it has been its strongest in the series for a while, in my opinion. The characters, the voice acting, and the music all add to that and make it an incredible experience to witness. When it comes to gameplay, I have openly admitted and said that, you know, the kind of action gameplay isn't my cup of tea, but the way Final Fantasy 16 handled it and made it fun for me, I don't have a bad thing to say about it. I'd be remiss to say, oh yes, there could be some more RPG elements here, there, and everywhere. And there was a few, and there could have been more. But for what we got, and for what I experienced, and what Final Fantasy 16 now means to me, it is why it is number one on my list, and why it is my game of the year. And there we have it, my top 5 games of 2023. Do you agree? It doesn't matter if you don't. I want you to include your list in the comment section below, because you've listened to me. I want to know your opinions. It's what makes it exciting. It's what makes me love going through the comments of the videos. Just be nice, okay? If you don't agree, that's fine. But don't be like, no, you are wrong. Let's just be nice and have a good time. I thank you for watching. If you enjoy the content, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the content, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of that content, and of course, like I've just mentioned, get involved in that comment section below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.